The bird is freed. That's what Elon Musk tweeted just a few hours ago after finalizing the purchase of Twitter for $44 billion on October 27, 2022, following nearly a year of wrangling with the management and some of the shareholders. Initially, Musk explained his purchase of Twitter as a way to grant absolute freedom of expression to its users and to combat the prevalence of bots on the platform. But as you can probably guess, you don't spend $44 billion just out of love for freedom of speech. No, Elon Musk's vision with his new acquisition is much broader and bolder, and it might very well involve Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So, what are Elon Musk's plans for the Twitter app, now renamed X, and will cryptocurrencies be part of the equation? We'll break it down for you in this video. To understand Project X, we need to trace back Elon Musk's entrepreneurial journey. It all began in 1995. By then, Elon had already pursued various studies in computer science, physics, and economics. He was accepted into Stanford University to pursue a PhD in energy physics. But just a few days after his acceptance, captivated by the advancements of the internet, Musk suddenly decided to drop out and start his own company. He founded Zip2, whose purpose was to create a sort of yellow pages for the internet. It was essentially a massive directory listing and locating businesses. In essence, Musk developed the precursor to Google Maps or Apple Maps. This company was later sold in 1999 for $341 million to Compaq, which tried to merge it with its Alta Vista branch, an older search engine that was eventually overshadowed by Google in the early 2000s. And right after this sale, Elon Musk founded X.com. This was just before the turn of the millennium. So, the rebranding of Twitter to X wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision by the billionaire. The story goes back much further. The aim of X.com was to establish an online bank. Here, you can see what the site looked like back then. Basic, but groundbreaking for its time. Among other things, you could use X.com to send and receive money via email. This was astounding at the time, as the demand for online payments was booming, but traditional banks were slow in offering efficient and secure solutions. In 2000, Musk decided to merge with Confinity, its main competitor in the market at that time, and their flagship product, PayPal. By the end of that year, Musk was replaced as CEO by Peter Thiel, one of the original co-founders of Confinity. The board then decided to rename the company PayPal to better align with the firm's direction. The domain name X.com remained under PayPal's ownership until July 2017, when Elon Musk bought it back. He tweeted that this domain held sentimental value for him. Subsequently, Elon Musk founded SpaceX, a company that designs, manufactures, and launches spacecraft. Once again, the letter X features prominently in the company's name. Then, of course, many know Elon Musk for Tesla, a company he didn't originally found but took full control of in 2008. Moreover, Tesla acquired SolarCity, which was rebranded as Tesla Energy in 2016. Of course, his impressive entrepreneurial track record doesn't end there. He also introduced the Hyperloop concept in 2012. These are capsules designed to transport people at speeds of up to 1,200 kilometers per hour, or about 740 miles per hour. It's like a super speed train of the future. This project is somewhat linked to another of Musk's ventures, founded in 2016, named The Boring Company, which can mean both drilling and uninteresting, specializes in tunnel and infrastructure construction. He's also behind the startup Neuralink, established also in 2016, which aims to merge human intelligence with artificial intelligence using electronic chips implanted in the brain. And speaking of artificial intelligence, it's lesser known, but Elon Musk is also a co-founder of the former organization OpenAI. But we'll dive deeper into that topic in a later video. Finally, in 2019, he began the rollout of the Starlink project through his company SpaceX. The goal is to deploy thousands of satellites in low Earth orbit to provide internet access anywhere on the planet. So to summarize, Elon Musk has had experiences in internet and software with Zip2, banking with X.com, electronic transactions with PayPal, aerospace with SpaceX, electric vehicles with Tesla, solar energy with SolarCity, infrastructure and tunneling with The Boring Company, transportation with Hyperloop, neuroscience with Neuralink, artificial intelligence with OpenAI, and telecommunications with Starlink. Elon Musk's portfolio of companies is impressive in its size, diversity, and especially its success. But for the billionaire, it wasn't enough. What he lacked was a central project. As we've seen, while there's some overlap between some of his businesses, none of them benefit from all the others. Twitter, or X, might very well play that role. 4 months after repurchasing the X.com domain from PayPal, Elon Musk began showering interest in Twitter. On December 21st, 2017, he wrote, "I love Twitter." Someone commented, "You should buy it then." Musk cheekily responded with the now legendary tweet, "How much is it?" followed by the playful emoji. At that time, Jack Dorsey, one of the 3 co-founders of Twitter, was still the company's CEO. Later on, November 29th, 2021, Dorsey announced his resignation almost 15 years after founding Twitter. Parag Agrawal, an Indo-American computer scientist, was then appointed as a new CEO. Elon Musk responded to this appointment a few days later with a montage comparing Agrawal to Stalin. He seemed more than displeased with how his friend Jack Dorsey was ousted from his position. In January 2022, Musk began buying Twitter shares. According to the SEC, by March of that year, he owned just over 9% of the company's shares, valued at about a mere $3 billion. Things sped up in early April. Agrawal announced that Musk would be joining Twitter's board of directors. Yet, not even a week later, Parag revealed that Elon no longer wished to join the board. Then, on April 14th, the expected happened. Musk made an offer to buy Twitter at $54.2 per share, amounting to roughly $43 billion. This led to a prolonged period of negotiations and legal threats, ultimately resulting in the actual purchase of Twitter on October 27, 2022, for a total of about $44 billion. Less known is the fact that Elon Musk wasn't the only investor in this sale. According to the SEC documents, from the day after the acquisition, the shareholder distribution was as follows. Musk owned 78.7%. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, grandson of the first king of Saudi Arabia, held 5.7% of Twitter's shares. Larry Ellison owned 3%, and Jack Dorsey, the historic co-founder of Twitter, still held 2.9% of the company. Alongside Musk were investment funds like Sequoia and VY Capital. But that's not all. Binance reportedly also invested $500 million in Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter. Since this purchase, Twitter has undergone many changes, and you'll soon discover it's far from over. You might have noticed the blue bird is gone. Elon Musk has already changed the logo and Twitter's name, which is now called X. I'm sure you've probably noticed. Of course, some users who are nostalgic for the microblogging days aren't too happy with Twitter's recent rebranding. Just last week, there were ads popping up for iPhones that hadn't updated and still had the original Bluebird logo. On sites like Craigslist and even eBay, some listings are going for as much as $15,000. It kind of reminds us of the craze around Flappy Bird. After its removal from the App Store in 2014, some used iPhones were selling for up to $100,000. Anyway, you can say goodbye to the little Twitter bird, because the app will never be the same as it once was. Let's recap what's changed since the takeover in October 2022. First off, Elon Musk thanked the then CEO Parag Agrawal. He also initiated a massive layoff to streamline the workforce. Nearly 8,000 employees were let go, which is about 50% of the staff. On November 9th, he rolled out his new service, Twitter Blue, a monthly subscription that gives access to account verification as well as some exclusive features. Musk also kicked off a big initiative to reinstate accounts that had been banned in the past. For instance, on November 19th, he ran a poll asking users if they wanted Donald Trump's account to be unblocked. Other controversial figures like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate made their comebacks too. By April 2023, Twitter Inc. was incorporated into X Corp, a company Musk founded in 2022. Twitter introduced monetization for content creators. The strategy is obvious. They want to draw new creators to the platform. In May 2023, Musk stepped down as CEO and was replaced by Linda Yaccarino. While she'll be handling the business side of things, Musk will still be in charge of the research and development. And since May, verified users have also been getting encrypted private messages. In just a few months, Twitter has undergone a lot of changes, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down. A few weeks ago, X rolled out a form of ad revenue sharing with creators, along with the option to subscribe to a paid subscription in place of the super subscription. This allows users to directly pay their favorite creators in exchange for exclusive content. And just recently, Musk announced the launch of live video streaming on X. The billionaire's strategy is becoming clearer. He's trying to chip away at the market of specialized apps to create an everything app. So, what's an everything app? It's a multifunctional application that offers a range of services and features, from messaging to calls, service bookings to task management, electronic payments to social networking, product ordering to gaming, and so on, all within a single app. Essentially, an everything app is like a one-stop shop for a user's digital life. In the West, we're not familiar with this type of app. We're used to having WhatsApp for messaging, Amazon for shopping, booking for hotel reservations, or Spotify for music. For each purpose, we have a different specialized app. This approach to organizing our smartphones was even the core of the ad campaign for the iPhone 3G in 2009, which boasted, "For every need, there's an app on the iPhone." But in Asia, users are already well acquainted with the concept. The WeChat app, which has over 1.3 billion monthly users, is the quintessential everything app. In China, WeChat has even vastly surpassed the popular Weibo app in user count, which is often described as China's answer to Twitter. Originally launched as a mobile messaging service, it's now used for virtually everything. The Chinese government even leveraged the WeChat app as part of their strategy to combat COVID-19. This concept is also catching wind in Indonesia with the super app Gojek. Additionally, there's the Grab app, which has seen its user base grow over 30% year over year and is hugely popular in Malaysia, Cambodia, the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. With X, Musk aims to introduce the everything app concept to the West. In October 2022, he stated that buying Twitter was a stepping stone to creating X, the do-it-all app. Relying on Twitter, the billionaire already has a base of several hundred million monthly users. If he can retain most of them while smoothly transitioning to the everything app concept, he might succeed in getting this disruptive type of application accepted globally. And that seems to be the trajectory. First, Musk is taking on instant messaging apps like WhatsApp by enhancing the user experience of Twitter's DMs and introducing end-to-end encryption. With the introduction of subscriptions and exclusive content, Musk aims to attract content creators from other platforms, especially those on paid content platforms like OnlyFans. He recently announced that, unlike other platforms, X won't take any commission from creators' earnings. The only hitch is that Apple is expected to take 30% from all transactions on X, as it does for all apps on the App Store. Right now, Elon Musk is reportedly negotiating with Tim Cook to waive this fee. Next, the introduction of live video streaming is clearly an attempt to rival platforms like Twitch and YouTube. It wouldn't be surprising if X also introduces a feature to create and view short videos, similar to Instagram Reels or TikTok. Clearly, Elon Musk's priority is to make a big splash in the communications and social media market, but he isn't stopping there. Reminiscing about the X.com days, Musk also wants to incorporate payment systems and banking services directly into the X app. This intention was confirmed by the new CEO, Linda Yaccarino. She envisions the X platform as a global marketplace for ideas, goods, services, and opportunities, aiming for it to cater to all our needs. Super ambitious. Unlike specialized apps, the Everything app has the potential to centralize a massive amount of varied user data. While this poses an evident risk to privacy, the Everything app is an advertiser's dream. With complete knowledge about its users and the capability to cross-reference that data, X can sell highly targeted ad spots at a premium. And here's something that's lesser known. Elon Musk is also a trailblazer in the realm of artificial intelligence. He plans to integrate it significantly into X, his super app. Back in 2015, Elon Musk founded a nonprofit organization alongside several former PayPal colleagues and Sam Altman. This company is one you might recognize, OpenAI. That's right, the very entity that programmed ChatGPT was co-founded by none other than Elon Musk. OpenAI's initial mission was to ensure that artificial intelligence would benefit all of humanity through open source programs. The aim was to circumvent the dangers of unchecked AI growth that could lead to a technological singularity by offering fully open and free tools. But in 2018, Elon Musk stepped away from OpenAI's leadership board. Officially, the leadership explained in a blog post that this decision aimed to prevent conflicts of interest between OpenAI and Tesla, which was also conducting its own AI research. However, in reality, this abrupt departure coincided with some members of OpenAI's leadership cozying up to Microsoft. And as it's widely known, Bill Gates and Musk haven't always seen eye to eye. Their feud has been ongoing for years, highlighted by Gates maintaining a massive $500 million short position on Tesla stock. In 2019, OpenAI transitioned from a nonprofit to a for-profit entity and began raising capital. Microsoft declared its intent to invest $1 billion in the startup around the same time, aiming for a privileged partnership on upcoming AI projects. But then, OpenAI opted not to release GBT's 3 source code in favor of Microsoft, further deviating from its original mission. It seems Elon Musk had foreseen Microsoft's increasing influence over OpenAI and naturally distanced himself to continue his AI explorations independently. In 2020, responding to a tweet suggesting a name change for OpenAI to Close AI, Musk tweeted, "It's not the opposite of open. For now, OpenAI is essentially captured by Microsoft." More recently, in 2023, during an interview with Tucker Carlson on Fox News, Musk expressed his intention to launch TruthGBT to counter the supposed misinformation spread by other AIs. This statement sheds more light on his exit from OpenAI. But Musk hasn't entirely left the AI field. Proof of this is how his announcement on July 12, 2023, of a brand new startup called xAI. This startup hasn't just acquired nearly 10,000 computers for its operations, but also poached top names in the AI domain. Notable recruits include engineer and researcher Igor Babushkin, who has previously worked with both Google's DeepMind and OpenAI, Manuel Croes from Google, and Kyle Kosick lured away from OpenAI. So AI will very much be a cornerstone of Elon Musk's X project. Beyond all the tech talk, what really grabs our attention at GA Crypto is crypto. Naturally, we've been curious about the role Bitcoin and other cryptos will play in this Project X by Elon Musk. To get a better understanding, let's quickly dive into the billionaire's stance on the matter. Elon Musk's journey with crypto really kicked off in early 2021. On January 29th, as a new bull run was taking shape, he updated his Twitter bio to include the hashtag Bitcoin. Shortly after, he tweeted, "In retrospect, it was inevitable." The price of Bitcoin then surged from $32,000 to over $38,000 in just a few hours. On Monday, February 8th, 2021, Tesla disclosed in an SEC filing that the company was gearing up to invest $1.5 billion in Bitcoin and planned to accept it as payment for their electric vehicles. However, Musk changed his tune first in May 2021, announcing that Tesla would no longer accept Bitcoin due to concerns over its environmental impact from mining. Then, in 2022, Tesla started offloading some of its Bitcoin holdings. Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, a staunch Bitcoin advocate, didn't miss a beat commenting on Musk's move. Musk's relationship with Bitcoin is a unique one, but it's not the only crypto he weighed in on. The self-proclaimed Doji father has often mentioned the meme cryptocurrency Dogecoin. In 2021, he even shared that SpaceX intended to launch a project called Doji-1. The goal? To fund a lunar orbit of a mini satellite with Dogecoin using a Falcon 9 rocket. Once there, Doji-1 aims to make the very first crypto transaction in space. A historic move, to say the least. Most people thought this wild idea would never come to fruition. But guess what? The Falcon 9's launch for Doji-1 project is set for the upcoming September 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This project is, of course, a nod to the "To the Moon" meme. And then you all remember when Elon Musk swapped out Twitter's logo last April, replacing it with the face of a Shiba Inu dog? So it's crystal clear, the billionaire is totally head over heels for Dogecoin. By the way, did you know Dogecoin originally sprung from Bitcoin? That's right. Jackson Palmer and Billy Marcus, the brains behind Dogecoin, forked the fork of a fork of a fork of Bitcoin. Now, I'm not talking about a fork as in the splitting of the blockchain, like what happened with Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum Classic. I mean a fork in the sense of duplicating the source code, like how the folks behind Litecoin grabbed Bitcoin's original code, tweaked it a bit, and then started fresh from block zero. Dogecoin's roots are a bit hazy, but according to several sources, it's a fork of LuckyCoin. LuckyCoin is a fork of Junkcoin, which is a fork of Litecoin, which in turn is a fork of Bitcoin. So, in a way, Dogecoin is like the great-great-grandchild of Bitcoin. But let's circle back to our analysis of crypto's role in Twitter's future. Apart from Musk's undeniable fascination with Bitcoin and Dogecoin that we've discussed, there are other signs pointing to cryptos becoming an integral part of the upcoming super app X. First off, Twitter itself has its own history with Bitcoin and crypto. Since 2021, users have been able to add their Bitcoin receiving address to get donations. Twitter also teamed up with Jack Mallers' company Strike to support payments on the Lightning Network right inside the app. The intertwining of the crypto community and Twitter isn't that surprising when you consider Jack Dorsey's passion. Jack, the co-founder and CEO of Twitter, from 2015 to 2021, has always been a big fan of Satoshi Nakamoto's invention. And just a fun fact, he still holds 2.9% of Twitter's shares, so he undoubtedly still has some pull in the company's decisions. And as many of you probably already know, there's a dense concentration of the crypto community on Twitter. Developers, cryptographers, investors, crypto enthusiasts, they're all on Twitter. Although lately, the Bitcoin crowd has been gravitating towards Nostr. But let's be real, the crypto industry still predominantly hangs out on Twitter. Piecing all this together, Elon Musk's active stances on Bitcoin and Dogecoin, his libertarian leanings, Jack Dorsey's die-hard Bitcoin enthusiasm, the old Twitter platform's heavy crypto integration, and most notably, Binance pouring $500 million into Twitter's recent acquisition. Well, it's safe to bet that crypto will be front and center in Elon Musk's Project X. The real question is, in what form? One theory is that X could lean into Bitcoin, especially with a setup enabling native Lightning transactions. I'm envisioning something akin to the Zaps on Nostr that let users tip content creators in Bitcoin. Musk's historical pro-Bitcoin stance, Dorsey's continued stake in the company, and Twitter's previous business dealings with Strike all point to this direction. Another possibility? X integrates solutions centered on Dogecoin. Why not? Year after year, Musk keeps catching us off guard, and he's been a vocal champion of this meme coin. But according to our analysis at GA Crypto, it's more probable that X will remain largely crypto neutral, allowing users to buy, sell, send, or receive a wide array of tokens, from stablecoins to Bitcoin and even Ethereum. Given that Binance is one of the main shareholders, this could all be set up pretty swiftly. However, there's no sight of any X tokens, at least for now. It's becoming quite clear that X will likely serve as a payment platform in the near future. Just think about the efficiency of being able to transfer money to anyone worldwide 24/7 almost instantly, using just a Twitter handle. Such features could pave the way for entirely new services, similar to when apps first appeared on the iPhone. Without the App Store, there'd be no Uber or WhatsApp. This everything app concept could be a game changer for entrepreneurs. The inclusion of cryptocurrencies in Elon Musk's Project X is almost a given, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly how it will manifest. We'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. They really interest us. To wrap things up, Elon Musk's unpredictability in his ventures might be encapsulated by the letter X. Here's what I mean. Musk has always had a unique connection with this letter professionally. It was the name of his second company, X.com. He also used it in SpaceX and to name the Tesla Model X. But his affinity for this letter spills over into his personal life too. In 2022, Musk had a son whom he named X-A12. His then partner, musician Grimes, explained on Twitter that the X in the child's name stands for the unknown variable. In math, X historically represents a value that can change or vary within an equation. The change, fluctuation, and unpredictability represented by the letter X, which can, in the end, totally shift the outcome of an equation, might just be the best way to describe Elon Musk and his vision for Twitter.